Hi, welcome back to Science 1206, the Chemical Reactions Unit. I'm Ms. Ledwell, and in this video, we'll be talking about different types of chemical reactions, starting with formation and decomposition. Let's get started. Remember that a chemical reaction transforms one or more substances into new substances with distinct chemical and physical properties. Different types of chemical reactions can be classified into categories, including formation. Sometimes you'll hear this referred to as combination or synthesis reactions, decomposition reactions, single replacement, double replacement, and combustion. First, we'll talk about formation reactions. A formation reaction is a chemical reaction where two or more reactants combine to form a single new product. The general formula for formation reactions is A plus B gives you AB. The reactants in formation reactions are always elements, and the product is always a compound. In our example here, we can see our reactants are two elements, and our product is a compound. Remembering that the reactants in a formation equation are always elements, and the product is always a compound, will help you identify formation reactions from other types of reactions. In this image, we can see that in a formation reaction, we have two elements combined, element A plus element B, and our product is a compound made of a combination of these two elements. For example, in the bottom of this image, we can see that sodium and chlorine combine to form sodium chloride. So we have two elements, sodium and chlorine, and then when they combine together, we have the compound sodium chloride. Next, we'll look at decomposition reactions. A decomposition reaction is a chemical reaction in which a compound breaks down into two or more simpler compounds or elements. The general formula for decomposition reactions is AB breaks down to become A plus B. The reactant in decomposition reactions is always a compound, not elements. This is important to remember when you're trying to identify a decomposition reaction as opposed to another type of reaction. Here's an example of a decomposition reaction. We have water breaking down into hydrogen gas and oxygen gas. Note that decomposition reactions are the opposite of formation reactions, and most decomposition reactions require energy, such as heat. In our image to the side, we can see that we have a compound AB, and it undergoes a decomposition reaction to become substance A plus substance B. On the bottom of this image, we can see another example of a decomposition reaction. We have copper 2 sulfate, which undergoes decomposition to become copper 2 oxide plus carbon dioxide. So we have a compound that undergoes decomposition to become two more simpler substances. Now it's time to do some practice identifying formation and decomposition equations. Pause this video here and grab a pencil and some paper. Number your paper from 1 to 7. As each description or equation in the table on the next slide is revealed, record whether it is a formation or decomposition reaction. We will then review the correct answers one by one. Good luck, and after numbering your paper, please resume this instructional video. Let's begin our practice. So here we have our first chemical reaction. We have water as our reactant, and then our products are hydrogen gas and oxygen gas. Is this formation or decomposition? If you said decomposition, you're correct. We have a compound breaking down into two elements or two simpler substances. Our next example is a description of a chemical reaction. It says solid sodium reacts with chlorine gas to produce solid sodium chloride or table salt. What type of equation is this, formation or decomposition? This is formation because we have an element plus an element giving us a compound. Our next example, we have potassium chlorate becoming potassium chloride and oxygen. What type of equation is this, formation or decomposition? This is decomposition because we have a compound breaking down into simpler substances. In our next example, we have iron plus sulfur becoming iron 2 sulfide. Is this formation or decomposition? This is formation because we have two elements combining to form a compound. In our next example, we have a description of a chemical reaction. It says solid calcium carbonate decomposes into solid calcium oxide and carbon dioxide gas. What type of equation is this, formation or decomposition? This is decomposition, and actually the word decomposes in the sentence is a key giveaway that this is a decomposition reaction. We have a more complex substance, calcium carbonate, breaking down into simpler substances. Our next description says hydrogen gas reacts with oxygen gas to form liquid water. What type of equation? This is formation. This is formation because we have an element plus an element forming a compound. And our last example, it says solid calcium reacts with oxygen gas to form solid calcium oxide. This is also formation because we have an element, calcium, reacting with another element, oxygen, to produce a compound, calcium oxide. Now it's time to continue to the next video where we will learn more about the types of chemical reactions.